What up, this is my TNA No Surrender 2008 pay-per-view predictions. The opening match most likely will be the Team 3D versus Abyss and Matt Morgan match, which this is a match that shouldn't be on this pay-per-view. It feels like a match that should just be on Impact, and not even an Impact main event. So that just shows you, how bad it is to have this match on here. Now, the one good thing we could get out of this is post-match or possibly a little interference in this match, which is TNA has been teasing on their site basically the same thing they put up when Mick Foley announced Mick Foley had signed with TNA, which I think is a good decision. Can't wait to see what they do with him. They teased putting up "Have a nice day, see you at No Surrender" or something with the smiley face wrapped in barbed wire. So it's gonna be interesting to see if he gets involved in here. I really think Abyss versus Mick Foley or Abyss versus Cactus Jack, due to the fact he's allowed to use the Cactus Jack gimmick. Cactus Jack could be very good to see them two against each other. Mick Foley can basically talk anyone into a feud, so that will be good. And Abyss plays the role of the monstrous big man. So within this match, I see Abyss and Matt Morgan most likely going over in this match. But then the next matchup is the Knockouts Street Fight between ODB versus Amazing Kong. Now, I kind of have a problem with this being a street fight because it hasn't really been built up enough to go to the the route of the street fight, which during this pay-per-view you got a lot of gimmick matches or a lot of multi-man matches. Booking wise, some of them make sense, but some of them just seem like they're just thrown together, or gimmicks not necessarily needed to be there, and this is kind of the case in here. But you could possibly make the argument that you got another knockouts match between Angelina Love and Taylor Wilde later on in the evening, and that's just a regular match, and you want to have somewhat a different feel in both matches. So you could possibly argue that's the reason why they need to go the route of the street fight, to make it seem like it's different. Not too much of a fan of ODB. I think I've been pretty vocal about that. Amazing Kong, I'm a huge fan of, so looking forward to seeing how this goes. ODB is one of those performers that sometimes can deliver a good match, but other times it's not going to be that good. Hopefully this match will deliver, but like I said, doesn't really need to be going on the route of the street fight. Then we got the, this might be probably the opener, or at this point in the pay-per-view, which is the Prince Justice League of Eric Young, Curryman, and Shark Boy versus the Rock and Rave Infection of Jimmy Rave, Lance Hoyt, and Christy Hemming. This is pretty much probably going to be a comedy-based match, pretty quick. Probably won't be that long. You'll see it go on the route, it'd be looking like it's a handicap match at first, with Eric Young or Super Eric not being out there at first. Then you hear his music hit. He comes out there, does his couple of maneuvers, and then picks up the victory for his team. Probably most likely pitting Jimmy Rave. That's the one I see taking the fall, or Christy Hemming. This is a match that, I don't think anyone cares about seeing. This whole Prince Justice League is a complete waste of time on TV. Eric Young's a pretty good performer. He can do a whole lot better with himself than just doing this. I don't mind him doing, a comedy gimmick stuff, but this Super Eric thing is, being idiotic. The whole Stone Cold Shark Boy thing should have ended a long time ago. And Curryman, I'm a fan of Christopher Daniels doing the Curryman gimmick, but at this point it's been so much comedy based, and it's pretty much been killing the gimmick in my opinion, that I like to see him get taken out of it and putting back into just being himself, being Christopher Daniels, which I think could do something good for him to really help his career out. Then we got the X Division match of the night, X Division title match of the night, with Petey Williams versus Consequences Creed versus Sheik Abdul Bashir. As we saw last month at Hard Justice, Williams and Creed did work pretty well with each other. This probably will be a good X Division match. As you got, pretty much in every match, every title match other than the tag title matches, you got Canadian performers. So I don't know how many of them are actually going to keep a hold of their titles or win the titles. In this case, I see Petey Williams losing it, and Sheik Abdul Bashir, a.k.a. Davari, picking up the victory in here. And, it could be something good for the X Division, because we haven't really seen a good X Division heel holding the title, at least for a good time. Christopher Daniels did it, but he was kind of a tweener, so it'd be interesting to see how, the X Division title is, put around, Daivari and see how he does, as a heel X Division champion, because you don't really see that much in the X Division. I think it will really help the X Division make it seem a little different for some time. Then you got the gimmick match of the night where, you got Jay Lethal versus Sanjay Dutt and the ladder love match, where it's a ladder match, which seems like these two could put together a good ladder match. The whole gimmick around it, where the winner of this match, instead of there being obviously a title up there, the engagement ring of SoCal Val is going to be up there, and the winner of this match basically gets SoCal Val. So I'm pretty sure everyone's basically thinking the same thing I am, what they're going to do in here, and they're probably going to have it in where if SoCal Val's not out there the whole entire match, she'll be out there right at the end of the match. Jay Lethal will be climbing up the ladder. She'll low blow him. He'll fall down. And then, you see Sanjay Dutt climb up the ladder, and you see him and SoCal Val celebrate, and then this basically make Jay Lethal go ballistic and say, "Why are you doing this?" And possibly can make him good. Not really a heel, because obviously Sanjay Dutt would be the heel in this, but definitely could be something good to get Jay Lethal out of the whole Black Machismo character, which is another one of those gimmicks I think are running very thin. It's still kind of over, but not to the level as it once was. And I think, him going ballistic, him saying, okay, now I need to be serious. I just need to be myself, Jay Lethal, get out of this character, Black Machismo. And I think, that could be something very good for him. So I see Sanjay Dutt picking up the victory in that type of route. Then we got the other gimmick match of the night. Well, the ladder match gimmick's not that bad, because the ladder match type match will be good. It's just the whole ring thing, engagement ring, that makes it bad. It makes it a little cheesy. But the next match is really cheesy, and that's the AJ Styles versus Frank Trigg match, which is in MMA rules, which this is completely ridiculous. In my opinion, I'm not a huge MMA fan. I'm pretty much a casual MMA fan. I do like it, but I choose wrestling over MMA as far as which one I like more, obviously. But this is these two types of things. It's okay to have MMA influences in wrestling, kind of the strong style and stuff like that, and submission maneuvers. But trying to have a worked MMA match, it's not going to work. It's just going to look ridiculous, the same way that the AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle amateur match looked ridiculous, and this is probably going to look even more ridiculous, especially if they go on the route of AJ Styles picking up the victory in here, unless they do something, lights go out, he hits Frank Trigg with a weapon or something, because Frank Trigg's, an MMA performer. It's going to kind of make him look bad in the eyes of some MMA fans if he does that, even though, it's a work, but still it's going to hurt his credibility a little bit. He loses to, a pro wrestler and not an MMA fighter, which is kind of bad. Then we got the TNA Knockouts match, the TNA Knockout title match of the night. Angelina Love versus Taylor Wilde. I'm not the hugest fan of Angelina Love, but I will take her over Taylor Wilde. This whole Taylor Wilde title run is completely terrible, so I don't think Angelina Love will do any worse, and I would pretty much prefer that if it was Velvet Sky in here other than her. But, her being Knockouts champion could be something good. And her being a Canadian performer, obviously, even though she plays the heel, her being from Canada is obviously going to kind of get her a little that face pop. So they're going to have to kind of, work different in this match as far as which one's the heel and face, obviously. Which you'll get, obviously, in a lot of times when there's performers from that country or that state. Then you got the TNA tag title match of the night. I think it's just a regular match, to my knowledge. Just tell me if I'm wrong and tell me if it's a gimmick. I don't think it is, but it's LAX versus Beer Money Incorporated. I feel Beer Money Incorporated is going to win this match and keep a hold of the tag team titles. And then you got the main event of the night, which is defending champion Samoa Joe versus Booker T versus Kurt Angle versus Christian Cage. To my knowledge, I don't think it's an elimination style. I think it's just one fall to the finish. I see Samoa Joe retaining in here. Could be a good main event. You got Samoa Joe, you got Christian Cage, you got Kurt Angle. The only person in here that's not even Booker's not even that bad. It's just he sometimes not delivers and sometimes he doesn't. So this could possibly be a good main event. Overall, I think this pay-per-view has way too many gimmick fight matches, like the MMA rules match, the Ladder of Love match, the Street Fight Knockouts match that doesn't make any sense of them doing. Then, too many multi-person or multi-man matches. Hopefully this pay-per-view delivers better than what I hope it does, because the last couple TNA pay-per-views have actually been pretty good. Hard Justice wasn't as good as the previous two, but it was a decent overall pay-per-view compared to some of the stuff earlier this year. So yeah, that's my TNA No Surrender pay-per-view predictions. All right, peace.